War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet. Looking for a painting commission? Check out artwstudio.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Today, me and Ryan are bringing you another game of Age of Sigmar. Ryan, coming out with your Cities of Sigmar again. The big notable addition.
Where?
Yes, so we'll get into this in a moment, but a couple of quick shout-outs. Always want to shout out our YouTube membership. All our members are what makes all the content possible. So if you're interested in helping support the channel or just want more content, or both, you can find out more about our membership by hitting the join button below the video. And as we said, Ryan, you're playing Cities tonight, and matched up against you, I'm playing the Soulblight Gravelords, chosen by our members. Actually, they get to vote on it. And notably, I always want to do a special call out when we have this army out, but it was commission painted by Art Studio. You see it in the intros, but can't say enough about it. Excited to get some more pieces done up by them. Want to get some of the big heroes matching in that as well, so nice. A little more thematic on the table. But yeah, definitely check them out. They actually just put out a really cool paint guide about painting and picking colors and all that, so that's actually been super helpful. And I know they do also have a promotion coming up in November for what I think it's for Black Friday, but they have a big promotion coming up, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, Ryan, do you want to jump in and take us through your list? Sure.
I guess, I mean, we'll start with the obvious. We have Karandis here. It doesn't look like Karandis, but I promise you, yeah, it's Karandis' friend, Articuno. Yep. Yeah, so we got the dragon here. I'm in a Hallowheart list, and which is nice in Hallowheart because you can bring Stormcast models, such as this big dragon, and they gain the city's keyword and the Hallowheart keyword, which means it benefits from all the casting bonuses that Hallowheart have, which make Karandis even better at casting. So gonna give it a whirl today. It's the first try, but we'll see how it goes. Beyond that, I have a couple big blocks of elves. One is my Black Guard here, at 20 Black Guard, and then we have 20 Eternal Guard. They're basically just here to punch and take punches. We have a unit of 5 Cold One Knights because 3+ save for 120 points is just fantastic. So going with that. We have a Celestial Hurricanum. Can't leave home without one of those. It's basically here to do damage, but it does have the big aura as well to give +1 to casting to my battle mages, which actually I don't have that many of them. I have one battle mage. He's from Azir. He's also the general's adjutant, and my general is the sorceress down here, and she's got the command trait that gives an aura of battle shock immunity, veteran of something crusade, and then her bodyguard of the Black Guard here. Nice. I also have Sisters of the Thorn because 2-cast wizard on horses is great. Other than that, my one artifact of power is the Gloroxai Prism. I think that's how it's pronounced, but it's -1 to hit, and it's on the Celestial Hurricanum. Other than that, everything but Karandis fit into a battle regiment, and so I was a 2-drop army. Awesome. Well, yeah, not typical. It's usually me being super low drop and you having a few more battalions. I should also mention there's 1 or 2 endless spells over here. Cogs, Jaws, and Lifesworn. Nice.
Well, then, looking at my list today, playing Soulblight, Legion of Blood for the first time, not Castly, only 10 Blood Knights, running a couple of the big heroes and just trying to mix things up and test some other things out. But notably, as I said, I have 2 units of 5 Blood Knights. I have 3 units of 10 skeletons off the board. Those are my battle line. They're in Expert Conquerors, just for cheeky objective scoring. And that's all my units besides heroes. But I do have 5 heroes. I have a Vampire Lord with an Arcane Tome and Soul Pike as the spell. Then I have a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon who gets +1 attack in the sub-faction. He's the general, has a -1 to hit command trait, and his artifact gives him +1 to save rolls. So pretty tanky. And then I do have a Vangorian Lord who will also, be reducing rend by 1. So hopefully making it tough to chew through him, though you do have the mortal output. So we'll try and dance around it. Dancing around will also be Manfred, who's got his ability just to teleport at the start of combat phase and a couple casts. And then lastly, I have the unique hero Kato as Ezekiel, using just one of the alternate models for him. But yeah, he can be a cheeky little damage dealer, can whip around the board and kind of mess up your day. So we'll see what he can do here. But that does, I was a bunch of drops here. What put me at, I think, 7 drops. All in though. It is going to give you choice first, but just to talk about the mission before we do that, we're playing the Prize of Dalit here. So none of these objectives are active at the moment. Whoever goes second in battle round would get to activate 1 each turn. First turn, it has to be one of them in the center, and then doesn't matter from there on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Ryan, you have choice here.
Yeah, I think you're gonna go first.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll jump into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 1.
The cities of Sigmar declare the left objective as the active objective and proving ground. Using the initiative to claim ground, Soulblight battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon and Krondys both fail heroic leadership. The Vampire Lord casts Mystic Shield on the Vangorian Lord, and Kato casts Arcane Bolt. The Zombie Dragon's flaming weapon is unbound, but the Vangorian Lord successfully casts Amethystine Pinions. Manfred uses Vigor of Undeath. Two units of skeletons deep strike using the grave sites. Holding back and waiting for the right moment to strike, the Gravelords score 1 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 4 points.
Soulblight Gravelords turn 1 was pretty quick, just a little bit of positioning. More spells off than I expected, but you're not great at unbinding, just great at casting. So that was all right.
More 2 spells.
Yeah, nothing too consequential really.
Yeah.
So it's all right. Not like I used my Amethystine Pinions movement or anything.
Yep.
Though it could have been fun, but I'm in a nice bubble here, 18 inches away from most of Ryan's spell casting, which is the main damage output range for you. So you have the potential double. There's a good chance I'm taking, or potentially taking a full round of it next turn, but better 1 than 2, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, just sitting here a little defensive. Guess we'll see if you want to come out. I did take firm control of this objective over here that you activated. With 20 skeletons on it, counting for 3 bodies each, so 60 bodies on that objective. Yep. They're outside of the spell range as well, so you gotta come do it the hard way if you want a piece of that. So I guess we'll find out and jump into Cities of Sigmar, turn 1.
Nice.
Eager to vanquish the vampires, the Cities of Sigmar battle tactic is This One's Mine. Krondys uses heroic leadership while the zombie dragon fails. Krondys uses arcane channeling, taking 6 mortal wounds but granting +6 to casting rolls. Krondys casts the Chronomantic Cogs, Atavistic Tempest on the zombie dragon, and Seer Wounds on himself. The Sisters of the Thorn cast Mystic Shield on Krondys, but have the Emerald Life Swarm unbound. The Hurricanum casts Crystal Aegis and Arcane Bolt. The Sorceress casts Ravenix's Gnashing Jaws, then Ignite Weapon on Krondys. The Gnashing Jaws deal 7 mortal wounds to a unit of skeletons. The Sorceress uses Command Underlings on the Blackguard, granting Run and Charge. Releasing the Storm of Shemtek, the Hurricanum deals 6 mortal wounds to the zombie dragon, and Krondys' Blazing Tempest deals 2 more. Krondys roars the zombie dragon, which uses Titanic Duel, and the Vangorian Lord fails to roar. Krondys uses all-out attack but deals no damage to the zombie dragon. That's anticlimactic. The skeletons fight next, but only deal 1 damage to the Drakespawn Knights. The Blackguard attack the Vangorian Lord but deal no damage. Those vampires are pretty tanky. The zombie dragon fights the Blackguard, killing 6. The skeletons use all-out defense as the Drakespawn Knights fight, dealing 4 damage. The 3 skeletons deal 2 damage to the Drakespawn Knights, then the Vangorian Lord kills 10 Blackguard. But he never does damage. What? Making a tactical sacrifice, the cities of Sigmar bring the fight to the vampires, but fail their battle tactic, claim no objective, and scores no points.
All right, first turn's done. It was an interesting turn. I don't know if it was a spectacular turn or a disastrous turn, because some things went really well. The
fire roll might determine that.
And so, I mean, to start things out, I did 6 mortal wounds to Krondys to get the +6 to cast aura, which was insane, meaning Krondys was at +9. I succeeded on all my spells. Other than one, you managed to unbind Emerald Life Swarm with a cheeky 11, which was the only spell I rolled low enough to even had a chance to, but he got there. Other than that, most of my damaging spells were out of range because he was outside of 18 inches, but I did manage to get some buffs up and just kind of move forward, got the jaws up, and yeah, just went into my movement phase. I chose this one's mine for my battle tactic because I knew there was none that I could possibly score on turn 1.
Not reasonably without overcommitting to one.
So I accepted that I'm gonna have to play comeback and try and deal a death blow. So I took that one because my sorcerer's never gonna kill anything. This one's mine was never gonna be relevant. And I knew I wasn't gonna score because I wasn't gonna take it from all these expert conquerors. I went for the gusto with the Cold One Knights on an off chance maybe, but I couldn't do it. So I got 0 points. In the shooting phase, Krondys and the Hurricanum popped off pretty good though, and they pretty much half killed the zombie dragon. And then Krondys and the Blackguard charged in and did nothing. Not a single wound.
That's the both these guys are at +2. Or sorry, on 2-ups. I'm reducing run by 1.
You made a lot of 3-ups though.
Yeah, I didn't fail any of the 3-ups. So.
And then the Blackguards failed every single save that was sent their way, and Jordan spiked 2 6s on D6 damage rolls. And almost the whole unit is now gone.
That's fine, I don't mind.
So that was a rough experience.
I could lose a couple skeletons to battle shock actually, the 1 unit. I lose 1.
Okay. So it was an okay turn. I think I'm set up really dangerously for a double right now, and I don't think it's the absolute catastrophe end of the world if I don't get it, but I think Jordan's in big trouble if I do get it, so I think I'm in an okay spot, but I'm sad about the deaths of some Blackguard.
Yeah, I guess we will find out in a few moments. I'm winning ties. That's a 4.
That's a 5.
All right.
I'm taking it.
Sounds good. We'll go into Cities of Sigmar, turn 2.
Turning their attention to the objectives, the Cities of Sigmar battle tactic is against the odds, and the Gravelords activate their home objective. Krondus and the Zombie Dragon both use their finest hour. Krondus uses Arcane Channeling, taking 5 mortal wounds, then casts Seer Wounds, Emerald Iceworm, and Atavistic Tempest on the Vangorian Lord. The Hurricanum casts Chain Lightning and Comet of Cassandora, dealing 3 mortal wounds in total. The Sisters of Thorn cast Mystic Shield on the Hurricanum and Roaming Wildfire, dealing 3 mortal wounds. The Sorceress casts Ignite Weapon on Krondus and Word of Pain, dealing 2 mortal wounds to the Zombie Dragon. The Battle Mage casts Arcane Bolt, then unleashes it, dealing 1 mortal wound to the Zombie Dragon. The Life Swarm heals 3 wounds to Krondus, and Ravenak's Gnashing Jaws kill 3 skeletons. Krondus' Blazing Tempest finishes off the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. Hell yeah! The Hurricanum Storm of Shemtek deals 3 mortal wounds to the skeletons. The Sisters of the Thorn deal 1 damage to Kato. Krondus uses Titanic Duel, then the Vangorian Lord roars him. Manfred stomps the Drakespawn Knights, then teleports with Monarch of Night. Krondus attacks the Vangorian Lord, who uses Olive Defense and suffers 5 damage. 2 skeletons deal no damage, but the Drakespawn Knights only kill 1. 1 survives! The Vangorian Lord deals no damage. There's a Vangorian Lord we know and love. The lone skeleton uses Inspiring Presence. While Krondus has taken out the enemy general, the Cities of Sigmar fail their battle tactic again? Damn. And only hold 1 objective for 1 point.
Alright, so I had another turn where I'm not sure if it was spectacular or catastrophe.
Pretty good. Killed the Vampire Lord.
I slaughtered a Vampire Lord. The big problem was I failed to kill all the skeletons. There's 1 living skeleton, and that denied me against the odds. Yeah. And that's huge. It's another 2-point swing. I did over-index into it for resources, but someone made more ward saves than I thought he would against mortal wounds. And then
spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah, and then Manfred here, he stomped and killed 2 knights, so it halved my output, and then the remaining knights, even with their all-out attack, they whiffed. They didn't get much of anything through. So they killed 1 of the 2 remaining skeletons at the time, and here we are. So I am down significantly in points. I think my board presence is strong. I feel pretty good position from a resources point of view, but I feel really bad from a points point of view. So we'll see if I can turn it around. My magic phase was successful as usual. I rolled a 5 this time, bringing me up to just a ridiculous amount, and then promptly healed most of it back with Searing Wounds and Emerald Life Swarm. So Krondus is in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, no real risk.
Yeah, so other than that, I mean, the Jaws ate some skeletons. Mortal wounds abound, enough to kill the Zombie Dragon. Punched a bunch of wounds off of this other Vampire Lord here. Not as many as I'd like, but he's super tanky, and Krondus just isn't the punchiest hero who ever. He does lots of things well, and I mean, he can do some damage, but
it's not
enough.
Insane.
So, but he's fine. He's still only 2 wounds down. He's got commanding presence to the center of the board. There's really nothing right now that's threatening him, so I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. So at the end of the turn, I'm not I would be absolutely thrilled if that one skeleton was dead, but that one skeleton puts me down to like a temperate level. So we'll see how things go going into Soulblight turn 2. Yes,
sir. Obviously, Manfred did his teleport. He's ready at the back door, so he's going to be sneaking in there. But yeah, we'll jump into Soulblight Gravelords turn 2.
As the Soulblight heroes look to step up after the loss of their liege, the Gravelords' battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Vangorian Lord and Celestial Hurricanum both use their finest hour. The Vampire Lord dispels the Gnashing Jaws and Vangorian Lord dispels the Life Swarm. The Vampire Lord then casts Mystic Shield on the Vangorian Lord, but Kato's Amethystine Pinions is unbound. Manfred uses Vigor of Undeath, then fails to cast Wind of Death, and the Internal Guard ignore Fading Vigor. The Sorceress redeploys, but only moves 1 inch. The third unit of skeletons deep strike onto the Gravelord's home objective. The Celestial Hurricanum unleashes hell as Manfred charges in, dealing 2 mortal wounds. The Vangorian Lord and Kronus both use Titanic Duel, and Manfred fails his roar. The Vangorian Lord attacks the Blackguard and finishes them off. The Hurricanum fights next, dealing 1 damage to Manfred. The Blood Knights attack, taking out the Sisters of the Thorn. The Drakespawn Knights finish off the skeleton, then Manfred fights and kills the Battle Mage. Kronus attacks last, dealing 3 damage to the Vangorian Lord, who survives with 1 wound, but heals 2 more with the Hunger. The Gravelords return a unit of 5 skeleton thanks to Endless Legions. Closing in on and corralling their enemies, the Soulblight Gravelords hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 3 points.
Soulblight turn 2 was pretty effective. Minus 1 specific charge. I was literally in my head thinking, I hope I don't roll Snake Eyes on one of these Blood Knights, and then instantly did. I put that energy out there. Otherwise though, it was pretty effective. I got a summon off, or I brought down a unit. I actually did get a resurrection off to bring back another unit of skeletons. It's just good for having stuff on the board. I'm fortunate to not get these Blood Knights in, especially because the Eternal Guard were at -1 attack. So
no, they weren't, because they...
Oh yeah, they ignored it in the end. So, never mind. Whatever, maybe they were just thinking smartly. I don't know. Weren't too worried about it, but... Could have been a little better. I could have charged Kato a little further. He had a big charge where he could have piled into the chariot thing. What's it called?
Celestial Hurricanum.
Yeah, the Hurricanum. Dawn, he was on his mortal wound profile, so would have been doing some good damage there with, ignoring your save stacking, but I wasn't setting up for that play, so I didn't think about it when I completed my charge. So, yeah, kicking myself a bit for that, but otherwise I did my battle tactic. Only 1 point though, so it's just 3 for the round, but compared to your 1, it's I'll take it.
Well, and he didn't point out, but this guy right here, this Vampire Lord, my bird managed to fail 4 2-up wounds. Yep. And he lived with 1 wound left. 1 wound left, then healed 2 back, so sitting pretty, just trying to tie stuff up, and that's about it. So otherwise, I think we can just jump into priority. 3.
2. Well, it's going to be a 6.
I think close. I got to take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We will jump into Cities of Sigmar, turn 2.
On the back foot after the vampire's aggression, the Cities of Sigmar battle tactic is desecrate their lands. Krondys fails heroic leadership while Manfred succeeds. The Gravelord activates the right objective and makes their home one the proving ground. Krondys uses arcane channeling, taking 5 mortal wounds, then casts Seer Wounds. The sorceress casts Ignite Weapons on Krondys, then Word of Pain, dealing 1 mortal wound to the Vangorian Lord. The Hurricanum casts Comet of Cassandora, finishing off the Vangorian Lord, then Chain Lightning, that deals 2 mortals to Cato. Krondys casts Atavistic Tempest on Manfred, and Ravenak's Gnashing Jaws, which then kills 2 skeletons. The Hurricanum deals 4 mortal wounds to Manfred, and Krondys' Blazing Tempest roasts Cato alive. Wait, was he even alive to begin with? Krondys charges in and roars the Blood Knights, and Manfred roars the Hurricanum. Krondys uses all-out attack and fights the Blood Knights, dealing 11 damage. Manfred deals 10 damage to the Hurricanum, which just squeaks by. Squeaks? Squeaks by? Really? Which just squeaks by with 1 wound. The Hurricanum deals no damage, then the Blood Knights deal 3 damage to Krondys. Refusing to back down despite the odds, the Cities of Sigmar score 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 3 points.
Yeah, this is my turn. It was. I think we're in a rough spot now, unfortunately. But I'm just running out of resources. But I finally did score some points. I was able to desecrate his lands and hold an objective. Yep. I just don't have the scoring tools left over. My Blackguard, I needed them to go stand on objectives, and they just got eaten alive.
And at this point, Proving Ground also denied you from, because Krondys could have taken this one.
He could have.
If not for Proving Ground.
Well, he probably still could have. Oh no, he couldn't because of Proving Ground. You're right. But I don't know if I would have put him there anyways, because then he wouldn't have achieved it.
And left everything else open. 5 Blood Knights ready to charge in.
Yeah, so I think I was just in a tough spot. I think there's just some interesting events happened in this game, and it stopped me from scoring points. I don't think it's an unwinnable match by any means, but I think Jordan just got too far ahead on points.
And this is a very interesting mission. I really like it. It's makes you think about taking priority and the risks and payoff. And
yeah, and one of the weaknesses of cities right now is they do struggle to score, particularly battle tactics. Like, this is not the first time this has happened with this army where I'm like looking at the board and I'm like, I can't score anything. It's just simply not possible to score a single thing. Yeah. So it is what it is. But Krondys kept doing his thing. He
killed 3 Blood Knights.
He killed 3 Blood Knights. He blew apart what's his bananas.
Cato.
Yep, with his breath, which has been the king. Like, his melee attacks have been so-so the whole time, but that breath has just been knocking stuff out left, right, and center. It's very reliable. So I've been happy with the breath. The Storm of Shemtek, it kind of sort of whiffed again. So I was kind of 2 in a row. So Manfred's is pretty much fully alive, which is unfortunate, because I was really hoping the Storm would at least get him down really low so he was bracketed, but I had 2 bad Storms in a row. It is what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at. The Jaws went over there, tried to eat some stuff. They got a couple skeletons, but it's not enough. I was hoping to go over there and at least eat that hero to just decrease your options. Over here, the Eternal Guard are holding strong, and they're going to continue holding strong. I really doubt the Blood Knights will kill them anytime soon. But I think my middle's collapsed a little bit. I think Cronus will keep slaughtering stuff, but I think the points are going to continue to rack up in your favor.
Well, let's jump into Soulblight Gravelords turn 3 here and see where we go from there.
Yep.
Dead set on ending the lives of their breathing foes, the Soulblight battle tactic is against the odds. Manfred and Crondis both fail heroic leadership. The Vampire Lord dispels Ravenak's gnashing jaws, then casts Arcane Bolt. Manfred uses Vigor of Undeath, then casts Mystic Shield and Wind of Death, finishing off the Hurricanum. Manfred stomps, dealing 2 mortal wounds to the sorceress, but she ignores the Vampire Lord's Arcane Bolt. The Eternal Guard use all-out defense, and the Blood Knights deal 10 damage to them. The sorceress deals no damage, and then Manfred finishes her off. The Eternal Guard deal 1 damage to the Blood Knights, and the Darkspawn Knights do nothing. The remaining Eternal Guard all flee due to battle shock. Crippling Sigmar's followers, the Soulblight Gravelords control 3 objectives and complete their battle tactic, scoring 5 points.
Soulblight Gravelords turn 3. I think we're pretty effectively able to wrap things up here. Actually, I just rolled it. I also bring back a unit of 5 models. So I did to put 5 skeletons somewhere. We'll put them over here. Set up for barge through enemy lines or something.
Salad.
Yeah. That's that. What? Like, not much to say here. Actually,
that hurt.
Because you didn't have any CP left for Battle Shock, I dealt 12 damage. You rolled a 6 on your Battle Shock, so
yep.
6 plus 6 ran.
It was rough.
Yeah. So the last of them fled, and that like gives up that objective. There is no hope left for a comeback for the cities in this one.
No, I think it's,
on the mathematically on the scoreboard. Like
no, and you had to mob my general with with the overkill of 1,000 suns.
Yes, yeah. So Vampire Lord got the kill there, finish off the sorceress, and yeah, putting myself also in a position where I'd be able to try and rally some Blood Knights next turn, depending on priority. But all that said, I'll get all my points here, and yeah, take a pretty strong lead. Let's just roll priority for I mean, I don't think it matters. You might have a battle tactic or 2.
I got it.
Yeah, so you did it. I would make this the thing, and
I think the only
make it a proving ground, so you don't even.
I'm not going to score.
Yeah.
The only thing with Manfred would probably. My goal would be to kill Manfred, which is not an unreasonable goal. 3 casts plus the breath. I probably could kill him.
There's a good chance, yeah.
So, but other than that, I don't think I'd accomplish much of my
Yeah. Again, scoring has been hard here. The battle tactics are tough early game.
They are, and I have no resources to score now, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do eye for an eye now.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, odds are decent that I could kill him. I have a lot of mortals I could put his way.
Yeah. Though, so in this game though, just talk like the Expert Conqueror skeletons ended up being big. It also like the thing about it forces you to put your effort and resources into units you don't care too much about, right?
Yep.
Like so that's what's nice about it too. Even if you don't barely get to leverage the extra bodies out of it.
I didn't put a ton of resources into them.
Well, you had to shoot them round 2.
That one shot is the big one.
Yeah, and like
which could have killed the Vampire Dragon instead.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. Overall, I think like the army functions okay. It just scores really bad, that's not different than any other time I played cities. They always score really bad.
And this mission is especially tough.
Yeah, and so it's without like their built-in battle tactics. I mean, one of them you need a unit of flagellants, which is ridiculous. And then the other one, I have to have 2 Galician veteran banners on an objective, and I didn't have 2 Galician veteran banner units alive long enough to do that.
Yeah.
Because the only that activated, then it was that one.
Yeah.
So it was just, and then by then they were all dead. So it just is what it is. The Blackguard died faster than they probably should have, but I mean that's the game.
I got a little lucky with the 2 D6s for D6.
Yeah, and I mean I got lucky with the cast, and I think Crondis definitely did fantastic.
Yeah.
It was the rest of the army that just didn't do much. Like these Cold One Knights, they whiffed what 3 times in a row and did no damage at all in combat. Yeah. And I'm not expecting to do much damage, but one
against skeletons, you hope they can take a couple down.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I was doing more damage with the Celestial Hurricanum in combat than my knights, so it's like, yeah. But yeah, overall it was fine. There was a lot of takeaways. I mean, I think I definitely changed some of the spells up a little bit. But yeah, overall I'm happy with Crondis.
Yeah, it was cool and great to see him. And beautiful model, looks amazing. Yeah,
and I'm glad he just didn't die, because a lot of times when I just painted a new model, I bring it out and it's like everything points at him. And it's
he was defensive enough, and you engaged on your terms, so I wasn't like on the charge with the extra bonuses.
Yeah, I knew that had to be the case, because if he started charging stuff, I was just in deep trouble. Yeah. But yeah, it was a decent game. I just couldn't score.
Yeah, no, and Soulblight Legion of Blood was honestly kind of better than I expected it to be. You know, Cast Lie is the most common one with the vampires. But like the minuses, you didn't do minuses too much.
Well,
but
I had 3 sources of minuses.
You had the potential to. Exactly.
Yeah, I just didn't do it because you deny it. But that was part of the plan to keep Blackguard alive when I built this list was to get -1 on things, and I just
didn't get the opportunity.
I can't. So
Manfred, like first time using him, obviously his teleport is great, setting up for the to backdoor your army, and his command ability is great. The downside is you're like spending that CP every turn, so it's a definite CP drain.
But it's a super powerful CP spend. So.
Yes, Blood Knights on +1 to hit and wound is amazing.
Yeah, they're like almost as scary as a Witch Elf.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Almost, not quite, but nearly.
True. True.
So.
Yeah, I just need a couple extra rend.
But no, I think your army did great. I mean, I thought when I double turned you at the start that you were in for some pain. But a few things held out just enough that I wasn't able to tip
that's the thing, is like those 6 aboard saves just curving
enough.
the edge of the damage, like reducing just a little bit here and there, so things would survive with 1 or 2 wounds. That denied 2 points.
Yep.
My Vandorian Lord living with 1, like that didn't amount to much, but you had to put resources into it
to kill him. Like, and also not just because he lived with 1 wound, but he promptly healed after that. So it now cost me what, 3 spells to kill him after that.
Yeah.
That could have swung the game. I mean, it probably wasn't at that point, but it's there's lots of moments where it was like just almost killed something.
Yeah. Well, we did away with it here, Soulblight taking the win, but I'm sure we'll see Crondis and the Cities of Sigmar back again.
Oh yeah,
soon.
we'll definitely. I gotta play this lots because I'm pretty sure this army's not going to be the same when the new book comes out. So I gotta enjoy it while I can.
Yeah. Well, cool. With that, I just want to say a big thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this match. Don't forget, you can find a lot more content in our YouTube membership. Either way, we'll see you guys soon in another battle report.
Nice.